If you have ever ridden the New York City subway system, you have probably struggled more than once to try to understand an announcement that comes over the loudspeakers in the subway stations and in the subway cars. These announcements are almost incomprehensible. They are loud, they're kind of garbled. I miss almost all of them. Every now and then something gets through. I want to suggest that not just the New York City subway system, but something else that is sometimes borderline incomprehensible is God. God is borderline incomprehensible, and so is God's Word. I mean, listen to today's gospel. What does this mean? The one who comes from above is above all. I did a little background reading in this. And the scholars even say, we're not even sure who's talking here. Is this Jesus talking? Is this John the Baptist talking? God is incomprehensible, largely. And so is God's Word. And I say to that, thank God. Thank God that God's Word and God are incomprehensible. There's two temptations. One, when we begin to think we really understand God, God is no longer incomprehensible. When we begin to think that, we begin to think, I probably know as much as God, don't have that much more to learn. That was the temptation, I think, of Adam and Eve, and falling into that temptation didn't get them too far. But I think even more than being tempted to think that we are like God because we have kind of discerned God and we have figured God out, even more than us becoming like God, is God becoming like us. And when God becomes like us, God becomes mean and judgmental and harsh. God is always out, it seems, to kind of trip us up, looking for ways to constantly punish us. The God that we make over into our own image is often anti-Semitic, homophobic, doesn't really care for the poor, the environment, often identifies with a particular political party, a dreadful kind of God. If the God of Jesus is the kind of God that is so often presented, I'm going to look for another God. I don't like that God at all. But I do like the God of Jesus, the real God of Jesus, who is truly and really and utterly incomprehensible. And that is the God, I believe, cherishes us, loves us, coddles us, holds us. And how do we negotiate a deeper relationship with this God? Well, the same way we negotiate love. You've all been in love. We have loved others, other people have loved us. And the way we go about experiencing love in our life is the call of today's gospel, that Jesus is equal with the Father, and the Father is tender and loving and kind to us. And when we imitate the way that we go about loving, we bring about in our lives a deeper experience of God.